I really appreciate everybody being here. I know this has been an unbelievable year, an unbelievable season for so many of us, including the fans and the community. We're joined tonight because Mayors Mendenhall and Wilson got together this crazy idea to come and find a way to honor this team, this university, and the community that surrounds you all. And so we're here tonight. We have a special proclamation, and for the younger folks in this room who may not know necessarily the significance of what these sorts of things mean, it is a substantial piece for a city, a county, a state, and I understand you guys will have a few of these types of opportunities over the next few days, but cherish these. They're really something special. I'd like to introduce you now to Mayor Aaron Mendenhall and Mayor Jenny Wilson from Salt Lake City and Salt Lake County. Shortly after they're done reading this proclamation, we would invite President Randall to say a few words, followed by Director of Athletics Mark Harlan, then Coach Whittingham. Thanks.
Can I just say something first? Thanks for the little introduction, Andrew, but thank you all for being here. You're my team. You're our identity, too. People cry at this podium a lot, so it's okay if I get a little emotional. You're the team of the city council and the county council. Okay, and if they aren't Utes, they're not here tonight. And you've got...
We invited them.
You have council members who went to every home game, Larry Stringham in particular. And when I travel, I think this may be true for you as well, and I tell people that I'm mayor of Salt Lake City, the second thing people say after, oh, Winter Olympics, is go Utes. And is that Mayor Wilson sitting there? Oh my gosh. Mayor Ted Wilson, thank you for being here too. I know that we could have filled this room in every hallway and every spillover room if we would have had the opportunity to invite everyone who's connected to Salt Lake City government and Salt Lake County, just even as employees who would want to be here tonight. So don't take the intimacy of this gathering to mean anything about how profound it is for me as the capital city mayor, and I think you'll hear something similar from Mayor Wilson and our city council to come together. We've never done this before. I don't know that we'll do this again, except for you maybe. So this is something very special, but you are an incredibly special team. So thank you for lifting us up and showing us how to keep going. Salt Lakers have had a hard time, but your team has embodied a lot of the struggle and the heartbreak and loss, and then the triumph through your tenacity. And we're so proud of you. You embody what Salt Lake is. And you always will. So I'll remember this moment, and I'll give you a moment before we read the proclamation if you want, Mayor.
Thank you. Now you've made me all teary-eyed. Well, as always, Mayor Mendenhall had some really remarkable words that were heartfelt and meaningful. And I just want to add that we're living in a time of division. You guys know that. And I'll tell you the one thing that unified us, no matter where we lived in our community, no matter our party, no matter really who we are in this community, was cheering you guys on. And that's pretty special. It's important right now. I mean, we've all suffered for, sadly, 2 full years, up and downs around COVID, and it's been rough. So to be able on a Saturday to tune in has meant a lot to me personally, as it has all of us here. I know that. And meant a lot to my family. It's the one thing on Sunday dinner conversation, sometimes by Zoom in those early days, but when we were able to come back together again as a family, were unified around that, even though my dad can attest to it. We were divided on other things at times. So thank you for doing that for us. I know there's division at times when we play a certain team, and that will of course happen in this state, but Salt Lake County, we're Utes, we believe in you, and you guys are awesome. I guess if I have any additional words before I read what is going to be really a cool proclamation, I had a chance to pre-read it, and Karen Hill helped us with this. She is a former employee of Salt Lake County, so thank you, Karen. These words are great and fun. But I think what I would share is I remember my years at the U. I was a graduate in 1988, so I hung out, I enjoyed my time there, sometimes went to class, not as often as my dad would like, I'm sure. But I look at my life since then and the great foundation that the U provided me and the pride that I have. But I also take a lot of pride in the work that I've done since then. And each of you will do that too. You're here at the school doing what you do, and it's such a focus of your lives that it's quite consuming. You'll leave at some point and go on to great things, but you will always have something special that sometimes, and I know I didn't realize the special moments from my college days would be so meaningful in years to come. You all, with your great coaching staff, and the president is here behind you, the athletic director, everyone behind you. It is so special, and I hope that, when you're like angry at the coach because he's keeping you out for a little bit longer, even though that's our facility, the practice facility at 6 o'clock. So by contract, you cannot. We have a great relationship on that one. We set that one up years ago as a great way to benefit our kids at 6 o'clock when you guys go off and do other things. But in any event, I know it's not always easy, but what you do matters, and it will matter for years to come. And I hope the minute you walk out and go on to different things in your lives, whatever they may be, you will always cherish that you had this experience. And I mean that beyond the special year that we're going to reflect in this proclamation and share some honor to you about, but it's all of the years you're there. So, and thank you to the great team, the coaching team, the athletic department, and everyone at the U that makes this possible for you. It's great. So with that, I'll put my mask back on since we're going to stand together, and we'll read away. Okay, I think you're up first.
Whereas on Friday, December 3rd, 2021, the University of Utah Utes football team, with a 38-10 win over Oregon, handily secured their first ever Pac-12 Football Championship, as well as a first-time bid to play in the granddaddy of them all, the 2022 Rose Bowl. And
whereas the Oregon game played at Las Vegas's Allegiant Stadium and witnessed by a crowd of over 56,500 boisterous fans, predominantly Ute fans, topped off Utah's 8-1 Pac-12 conference record. And
whereas the Pac-12 championship and the Rose Bowl berth were hard-fought prizes acquired only through the sheer desire, determination, hard work, and skill of teammates and coaches who together built a years-in-the-making winning program and together faced a season of both tragedy and triumph. And
whereas the season's games were played in the memory of two fallen teammates, cornerback Aaron Lowe and running back Ty Jordan, and whereas Aaron and Ty are missed and their passing leaves a permanent hole in the lives of many in the community, and whereas the player's number 22 jersey was retired at the UCLA game on October 30th, 2021, and the lives of Aaron and Ty were celebrated in a moment of loudness at each home game in Salt Lake City, the championship game in Las Vegas, and the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California. And
that was an awesome moment, by the way. Whereas, as the season progressed, the Utes powered through unimaginable loss with purpose, focus, and resolve, racking up win after win, losing only once in a string of 10 games. Whereas the Utes found their dexterity and prowess as quarterback Cam Rising emerged to ignite the offense and set the Utes on a winning trajectory with powerful wins over Arizona State, UCLA, Stanford, Arizona, Oregon, and Colorado. And with the season's end in sight, fans read the writing on the wall and knew the Utes could not only clinch the Pac-12 title, but could also make their debut in the Rose Bowl. And
All right, this is where pressure's on me for pronunciations. All right, whereas the championship game in Las Vegas unfolded, and Mike Tufoa, Mika Tafua. It wasn't even the wrong, I could have handled Mika. Devin Lloyd, Tavon Thomas, Tavion, thank you. Britton Covey, Rising, and their teammates worked their magic. Frenzied fans everywhere came together as one with shouts of "Go Utes" and "COVID be damned." Missed that one. Before the game ended, thousands of fans commenced their efforts to obtain tickets and passage to the famed granddaddy of them all. At night's end, it was clear the Utes were going to the Rose Bowl. And
whereas the state of Utah experienced a temporary year-end population shift as multitudes of Utahns departed the Beehive State in late December and traveled westward to California to proudly support and cheer for their championship-winning team. And whereas the I-15 corridor, temporarily dubbed the Ribbon of Red, was bumper to bumper as passionate Ute fans steered their way through Fillmore, St. George, and Las Vegas straight on to Pasadena. And whereas the new Salt Lake City International Airport was put to the test, as throngs of crimson-clad Ute-loving fans flooded the Salt Lake City terminal, clambering to board any plane headed west before January 1st. And
I can attest to that. And whereas on the morning of January 1st, 2022, the University of Utah Marching Band unreservedly and skillfully performed at the Tournament of Roses Parade for thousands of in-person spectators and millions of viewers worldwide, energizing fans and building the excitement of what was to come later that day. And whereas at 1 p.m. Pacific time, Pac-12 champion number 11 ranked Utes met the number 6 ranked Ohio State Buckeyes on the field for the 108th Rose Bowl game. And whereas with commanding presence, the Utes took control of the game early on, with Rising passing to Covey and Bernard for 2 touchdowns before the Buckeyes could score. And
whereas as the game intensified and as Ohio State went into action, the Utes maintained their lead with strong defense and offense, Thomas scoring on a 6-yard run, Covey running in a 97-yard kickoff return, and Rising running the ball for 62 yards to put the score at 35-21. And whereas spectators could not believe their good fortune in attending a game packed with so much excitement. Television viewers around the nation and the globe were captivated by the competitive edge of the game. Seasoned football fans gained respect and appreciation for Utah football. And reliable sources revealed that as the game heated up, even die-hard, unyielding BYU fans sitting in living rooms, as well as in Rose Bowl bleachers, were spotted openly and publicly, even happily cheering for the Utes. And
whereas, when the score was later tied at 38-38, Rising went down on a sack and was replaced by Bryson Barnes, a freshman walk-on from Milford, Utah. And I can attest, I was in the stands. We were going to the program to figure out who was coming in, and I couldn't get an answer of the 25 people that I'd bonded with around, and I let them know. I read his bio. It was a very exciting time. The Buckeyes scored another 7 points, only to be met with a run for a first down, followed by a touchdown pass from Barnes to tie the game at 45-45. And whereas Utah fans were ecstatic that their team was not yet out. Only in the last 2 minutes of play did Ohio State score a field goal to win the game, bringing to a close one of the most exciting Rose Bowl games ever played. And I'll just point out, the coach said that first words in the press conference was like, the fans were given a gift with the competitive nature of that game. Truly special.
whereas acknowledgement and appreciation are extended to the incredible University of Utah football team and coaching staff, led by Coach Kyle Whittingham, the all-time winningest coach in Utah football history. If you want to clap right now, you could. for their efforts to represent and illuminate not only the University of Utah, the flagship of our state's higher education system, but also all residents of Utah.
Now, therefore, I, Jenny Wilson, Mayor of Salt Lake County,
And I'm Aaron Mendenhall, Mayor of Salt Lake City.
do
hereby
hereby historically, proudly, and jointly proclaim Tuesday, February 22nd, 2022, in symbolic honor of the two fallen teammates and in accordance with Kyle Whittingham's charge to improve each day as together. Oh.
Or we say it together.
I feel like a certain aging
know, I can't
senator who
tell.
read the notes in the
It's
margin.
also bolded, so it's hard to tell.
All right,
20
let's start over.
Right here.
To improve each day
As
as 22% more for Utah Football Day in Salt Lake City and Salt Lake County.
Signed this 22nd of
day
February.
of February 2022.
That's the end of the story.
We have both certainly read long proclamations before, but that one was truly worth it.
And we'll hand the microphone over now, but I'll tell you, usually proclamations aren't that much fun and don't try to have humor, so excuse us for laughing along the way.
Oh, Mayor Mendenhall, Mayor Wilson, thank you very much for that, and council members, thank you very much for making this a pretty remarkable day. I am a 55-year-old Ute fan, and I can just tell you, I waited a long, long time for this. You helped me put aside many years of pain, and many of those years were actually inflicted by Coach Whittingham because he was wearing the wrong color at the time. For 10 long years, I watched that team beat up on us, and quite honestly, I learned the one down moment of the year when we did have that small hiccup in Provo this year. I realized we'd better win the Rose Bowl this year, or my presidency was going to be over really, really, really quick. Anyway, you have helped us through some hard times. You've helped us answer some of the most existential questions we will ever have as football fans. If you have to beat Oregon twice to make it to the Rose Bowl, and you can lose one or lose two or lose one or lose one, what should you do? Right? I mean, all of us debated for weeks whether you guys should throw one game so that you could win the one that counted, and you guys just said, to hell with that, we're going to win both of them. And that was the right answer. That was inspirational to us. We all know the number 22 has taken on new significance. 2022 is a great day to be celebrating this. We already knew we're celebrating Ty Jordan this year, and then we celebrated Aaron Lowe, and then Britton Covey ran a kick back from the 22-yard line. I was going through this with you, Jeff. How many 22s showed up this year? There was 22 seconds left in a game, and we did something spectacular. Countless. I mean, we ought to document all of those. But you took intense sadness and turned it into remarkable victory and inspired us to do many, many, many great things. It was truly a remarkable year. And my almost 83-year-old father, who I wheeled into that Rose Bowl game on a wheelchair, thought he would never see that day. And for him, that was just spectacular. I got to sit with him, and he had been through all those long years as well. So it was really, really, really fun. But anyway, I thank you for what you brought to us and to our university. It will be truly, Coach Whittingham, one of the great leadership moments in University of Utah history, how you took a team that was hurting in so many ways and turned it into greatness. And Mark Harlan and you and Jeff Rudy were all a big part of that. One of the things I did not realize, I attended, I think, every game but one this year, missed Oregon State. I'll make that next time we go up there. But one of the things I did not realize is the amount of food that you consume on a given trip.
And my wife would come in every game, and I remember that first trip, she got her, I think, a burrito from Cafe Rio. She goes, oh, this is going to be the greatest trip ever. She didn't know she was going to get another one in 15 minutes later. But anyway, it gave us new respect for what you have to do just to keep up the physical fitness to make that all happen. Anyway, I'm going to step down right now and turn the time over to Mark Harlan first. But thank you again, and thank you, mayors, for making this day possible.
Thank you, mayors. Appreciate that, and thank you to all the city leadership. This is a really kind gesture. Coach was just asking me, hey, what's this all about? And I think we both learned. It means a lot to us when you're in the middle of it, and you're grinding, and you're supporting these guys. But when you hear comments like that you made and the lift that was going on in the community, I mean, we felt it a little bit as you guys were out and about, but I think it's really since the whole journey has kind of come to this point, you don't really realize it until you hear comments like that, so thank you. These guys are unbelievable. They know what I feel about them. Coach knows what I feel about him and his staff. It's remarkable when you have incredible young men who are way better people than they are football players, and they're really good football players. But they're incredible people from I'm just looking all over the country as I go all the way down this row here. And then they're led by the best college football coach in America, and it's not close. It's funny to go to league meetings with Whit. You know, you walk in there and he just kind of walks in, everyone gets quiet, right? I mean, schools have had 6 different coaches, I think in one case 9 different coaches, and Whit just built it, and kept building to that moment in January of 2022. And we know it's just another step in the journey for this program. So very proud of this group, very proud of everything they did for the community, but also extremely proud how they came together in a profound way that all of us for the rest of our lives will remember. So thank you guys. I'll see you out and about, but I want to thank you in front of this group. So thank you, Coach, as well. I'll go ahead and call you up.
Okay, well, thank you, mayors. It's an honor to have that proclamation for us. Who wrote that, by the way? I want to meet that person. Nice job, nice job. All right, very creative, very creative.
Yeah, she's the best, and I'm like, we need the best to write this thing. I don't know about you.
Well, anyway, thank you, and again, it's an honor to be here. What a year. The highest of highs, the lowest of lows. I mean, it was a year filled with so many emotions and you know, the tragedy that we experienced. And then obviously the elation of winning the Pac-12, going to the Rose Bowl, all those great things. But you know, as great as it was, and to go to the Rose Bowl was such a great accomplishment by our team. It was more the journey that I remember. It was the journey of getting there, and that's what really stands out to me. And we got a whole team full of guys just like this. It's a great group of guys. Love being around them. Love coming to work every day. We could not have gotten through this without great leadership. And the leaders on this football team were just tremendous. And I've never been a part of a great team that wasn't player-driven and had great leadership from within and ownership from within. And this team was the epitome of that. And just blessed to be a part of it. You know, like I said, we had the just incredibly two tragic events. There's no blueprint for it. You know, you don't have there's nothing in the coach's manual to tell you how to get through that. And so really leaned on our senior class and our leaders, and they just did a phenomenal job of keeping the attitude right and continuing to forge ahead. And, you know, we miss Ty and Aaron. I've told our team many times, you know, we won't get over this, but we'll get through it. And these guys did, and it was just a heck of a ride and heck of a journey, and I appreciate these guys. And that's what it's all about. It's about the players. You know, college football is not about coaches or anything else. It's about the players. And so I want to tell them how much I appreciate them, how much I love them. And I'm going to go ahead and put Britt Covey on the spot here. He's the only one that's leaving and graduated, so these other guys can kick my butt at tomorrow if they wanted to. But Britt, come on up and say a few words and let the crowd hear you.
Well, thanks, Coach. I've been at many events with Coach Witt where he's done that, so this is kind of assuming. But thank you, seriously, from a player's perspective, it means the world to us. It's almost surreal. You don't even know what's happening, you know, that it's some government document. It's kind of cool, you know, national treasure like, but we appreciate it. When I think about the season, kind of as you said, the community, I feel like we would go around and this team inspired a lot of people, lifted a lot of people, but we felt lifted, I feel. It was very reciprocated by a lot of people, and it was tough and it was really hard, but to feel the encouragement from the whole community was amazing. And not just with the tragedies we experienced, but even with starting 1 and 2, things like that. I feel like Utah is a very unique place. In college football, you'll see a lot of things where someone will have a bad quarter and the teams and the fans will turn on them and get angry. And we started off very poor and we had some tragedies, and yet we never really felt that from our fan base and from the community. So we appreciate that. We felt just as lifted. So it was easy to reciprocate. And love these guys. Seeing them, miss them already. Really happy I could be back here for this. So love you guys. Thank you.
I don't want to deprive any of you other players from coming up here and saying a few words if you're feeling moved. Huh? Is that a yes? Yeah? Okay. I think I want to thank our county and city councils for coming out here tonight, and I hope that you might take a minute to meet each of them. And that I want to thank Carrie Nakamura and Andrew Wittenberg. Andrew addressed us at the front of this for putting all this event together tonight, from flowers and frames to invitations out to each of you. So thank you all for your time and effort. Let's get a photo together, if that'd be all right.